In the winter of 2019, a friend named Margie invited a group of friends over to Idaho to visit her. And so some of us took off from Portland and went past Mount Hood and arrived near Cascade, Idaho at Margie's cabin in the winter in the snow, and it was quite beautiful. Margie's cabin is out in the woods, and there are many wild critters wandering around out there in those woods. And one morning I woke up and found these tracks. Jay and Margie and Amy were amongst the group of people who went to visit the cabin. It was a wonderful, fine weather window that we enjoyed, where the winds were quite calm and the sky was quite clear and the sun was out and the fire was hot in the fireplace. And we had a good time visiting and playing in the snow at Margie's place. Margie's cabin is very near Lake Cascade. You can see Tamarack Ski Resort in the center background there on the mountain. We got in the car and drove up to Tamarack through the snow, and although the snow wasn't deep, there was plenty of snow for skiing, and we had a very good time. Found a parking place in the parking lot at Tamarack. Tamarack is a lodge that went through a downturn during the recession, but is springing back, coming back to life, and is a beautiful ski resort with very good facilities. I do not have skis these days, so I had to go inside and rent some skis. They have a very nice ski shop. We went inside, got me outfitted with some skis, and then hit the slopes. My first run down the mountain after about 15 years of no skiing was on the most gentle slope, but as you can see, there's a lovely mountainside at Tamarack. Mile High Cantina is halfway up to the top. Here's a view from the top looking out over Cascade Lake and the valley below with the mountains in the background. And is typical of Idaho, it's just gorgeous scenery and terrain there in central Idaho. And of course, plenty of skiing on the groom slopes and in the outbacks, if that's what you enjoy. So after a day of skiing, the lifts were finally closed and we're all coming back to the parking lot to get off the slopes and go and do other things. And we had a really good time skiing for 4 days there at Tamarack in the gorgeous conditions, and we were very, very lucky. Of course, back at the cabin, there's always keeping the wood dry in the shed and tending to the wood. And included in tending to the wood is also chopping the wood, and there was plenty of that going on. And as we chopped the wood, we also had to cart it back to the cabin. So the wood has to constantly be brought into the cabin to keep the fireplace going and the heat on. And the group of us in the cabin had a wonderful time. It's warm and comfy there. Margie's place is beautiful. And we had fun with food. Amy was decorating her waffle with blueberries and strawberries and whipped cream on top and made a lovely arrangement. We also made ooey gooey toasted sandwiches, which even though they looked pretty ooey gooey, they were very good to eat. And at the end of the dinner, we had a little limousin to go with the dinner and top it all off. And as far as I was concerned, the most memorable part of the whole trip was being out in the snowy woods on a clear, starry night, making snow angels in the snow at Margie's cabin in Cascade, Idaho.